Going live in 3, 2, 1. Well, you yawn right as
I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so tired.
3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Geek Games. I am your host, Cody Teacher, alongside my best friend, Sam Subek. That sounded so weird. Why did that sound weird?
It sounded like it cut out a little bit for me, so that's why I was making faces. I was like, wait, what just happened?
Hello, everybody, welcome back to Geek Games. Why did it sound weird when I said it?
I don't know. Do you want to try one more time?
Yeah, we'll try this one more time. Okay, I know what I did. My YouTube intro is "Welcome back to Geek Games." My podcast intro is "Welcome to Geek Games." Because we always want to welcome new people. Okay, there we go. I was like, why did that sound weird? Okay, all right, 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Geek Games. Why is it sounding weird in my head, Sam? I'm so confused.
I don't know. All I know is like I was fighting real hard not to yawn again right there because it's like it's a battle, man.
The stinger can just be these fuck ups of mine.
I've already decided this is gonna go at the very beginning. I'm just gonna let it all. Cool. It's gonna be a real long intro for the video, just for the video, not the audio.
3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Geek Games podcast. I am your host, Cody Teacher, alongside my best friend, Sam Subek. Sam, how is it going?
It's going good. You nailed that intro this time because you said everybody. I think that was what was missing, and that's like your magic word. You got it now. You're feeling sounding great.
How's your week been, Sam?
Oh, it's been sucky. It's been horrible. It's been really, really stressful, and I'm exhausted. And you and I both are probably going to be yawning a lot during this episode, and we apologize in advance, but it's just like all that stress gets to you, and then you're so tired. You can't help it. And it's not that we're not excited to be here, because we are. It's just physical
because we got some great stuff to talk about.
We do.
We got some video games. We got some news. We got Connect, which is like a direct, which is like a state of play, which is like a...
Which, like, I was like, I wonder how Xbox feels about this, because they had Connect spelled differently previously. So I don't know. It's just a tangled web of video game services. We
do have a direct, actually. We have a Pokemon Direct. I just realized that.
We did have a direct. Man, so much.
But first, we got a little bit of housekeeping. We have our Geek Heart Pride shirt is up in the store. You can find it at geekheartgames.com/shirts. And up on our YouTube channel, which is at geekheartgames.com/YouTube, you can find a new video from me talking about the new season of Opulence in Destiny in the Menagerie, which I'll talk a little bit more about later. Sam, what's up?
A lot of times when someone says something and they're talking real fast, they're like, a new blah, blah, it kind of comes out as nude blah, blah, blah. So it's almost like a nude video. And it's like, nope, that's not it. It's just new.
You never know. Maybe I recorded that in the nude.
It was audio only. We don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, go check that out. Give us a like and a subscribe there. But Sam, we're a video game podcast. I think it's time to talk about some video games. So why don't you hit me with what you've been playing lately?
All right, we are kicking things off with my Pride Pick of the Week. FYI, that's what I'm calling it now because you know I like alliteration. Okay, so this week I played a game called The Red Strings Club. I got this on Switch. It was on sale on Switch right before I was planning to get it, so I was like, it was so handy. It's like it was meant to be. This is it's kind of a visual novel style game, but with adventure game elements, kind of. You may know I don't care for adventure games, so we'll get to that part. But overall, I had a good time with it. It's a cyberpunk mystery kind of story, and the basis is there's this guy, Donovan, who is the bartender at the Red Strings Club bar, and as you find out, he's like, there's something weird going on, he's not able to leave the bar, and also he has the ability to mix drinks to influence people's personalities, to make them feel certain ways. So as he's talking to people, he can like mix them a certain drink to appeal to their pride or to their anxiety to get them in the right mood set for whatever types of questions he wants to ask. He's an information broker. And so he and his partner... All right, so this guy's name, I'm going to call him Brandeis. I don't know how to say it because it's Brandeis. So it's just like, I don't know. Yeah, so it's just him, okay? So, and like for most of the game, like I didn't really understand if they were just like business partners or if they were kind of a relationship as well because they were like flirty, you know? And I'd heard that the reason I picked this game was that Donovan was supposed to be like a bisexual character. I was like, okay, because he's pretty flirty with everybody. But eventually, I think it turns out, I believe they were in a relationship. But they're information brokers. So they're like dealing with stuff. So there's this company, the evil organization, right, called Supercontinent Limited. And you find out that they kind of have this plan to not really take over the world with mind control, but kind of that. They have it like they want to just make the world a better place. And there's this, I was going to write down who it is. There's like this rebel group who I think is like, I don't think it's Proxima because I think that's from Future Grind, but I think it's Proximus or something like that. Anyway, we'll just call them the rebel group. So you start off playing as Donovan, but then like this android comes into the bar and is like dying and it's like, oh. And so Brandeis uses his cybernetic enhancement to like hack into her and figure out what's going on. And then you get like kind of a flashback and then you go back and you're playing as this android. And she's in this facility where people come in and she gives them cybernetic enhancements to help them make their lives better. And it's enhancements like someone's concerned that they don't have enough social media followers. So this is an enhancement to help them get social media followers, right? And then like they come back later because they're like, they have more followers, but they're unsatisfied about something else. And so you're doing that and it's kind of like puzzly because you have to figure out what they need and give them the correct enhancement. Mm-hmm. But then it's a pain in the fucking ass, Cody, because you have to build these enhancements before you can stick them in there. And it's got a... Oh, fuck, I don't remember what it's called. It's like a pottery wheel, you know? You have a thing, and so you have to spin it, and then you have to get these tools and, like, craft kind of like a vase-like shape, but, like, with different shapes out of it. It's real weird, and the controls are not very good. I had this problem with this part, and then also with mixing drinks, like, I just feel like the cursor would, like, jump around the screen kind of randomly. It was hard to control. I didn't care for it. So that wasn't as fun. So then this Proximus whatever comes and like hacks the facility. And so you start putting bad cybernetic enhancements in people. And then they catch on to you and kill the lady that was there. And so this android, her name's Akara, she escaped the facility and she came to Donovan because like that's what this lady had told her about. So that's how this set up, right? And so you're finding out that Akara knows what was going on, and they've got this... So people who have the enhancements, they're kind of already getting a little bit of mind control because it's, you know, making them be a different way than what they were, right? And so they've just got this plan to kind of, you know, make things better and make everyone feel better and be happy and nice, you know, like get rid of sadness. And then the weird thing, they're not like telling people that they're doing it though. They'd be doing it without people's permission. And then they have this way that they're going to get the same effect to transfer to people who are not using their cybernetic enhancements. And they kind of explain some stuff in the game that I found very interesting. Because it was talking about how if I see somebody eating a candy bar, then like I'll start salivating because I'm like, ooh yeah, candy bar. I want a candy bar too, right? And like if a monkey sees someone, oh my god, the train's back. If a monkey sees someone eating the candy bar, they'll salivate because like they want the candy bar. Now, if I see somebody who's not eating a candy bar, but they're pretending to eat the candy bar and they're like, this is so good, and like having like I'll start to salivate just because I appreciate the drama of it. Like, my body will react to it that way, but like a monkey won't do that because it like knows better or something. And so that's how they're going to get this stuff to transfer to people who do not have the cybernetic enhancements. It was weird, but it was interesting. And it makes you just think about how, not perceptive, but I guess receptive we are to stimulus. Like, every time I fucking see somebody eating food on TV or movie, I'm like, oh my God, I need to eat that kind of food right now. So, I mean, I can kind of see that part of it. Anyway, so you go on, you find out more about it. There's this kind of, like, it kind of fucked with me emotionally because you get to this part where Donovan is talking to Akara and she's like, or he's like, somehow she has some programming, so like if it came down to it and like she could take control of this and influence like what happened to the masses, like she would be like a failsafe. And so she was asking Donovan, like, what should I do in that situation? And so she starts naming certain things, like, should I turn off depression for people? Should I let people suicide? And like, you have to answer like yes or no, like turn this off or let people make the decision for themselves. And like, and then it gets into like some more serious ones where it's like, okay, do you want me to make rape never happen? Do you want me to make murder never happen? And like, all the while I've been answering like, no, don't do any of this, let people have their freedom. And then like we get to that and I'm like, oh God, like this like makes it a whole different kind of thing to think about. Like, what if I could stop murder from happening like ever again, you know? And it's like, I kind of feel like that would be a good thing, you know? But then you're taking away free will, and like that's just like the little pebble that starts the boulder rolling down the hill of like, you've got good intentions and then it like steamrolls into something else. And so it was just like, it really makes you like think about stuff. And then like, if you answer yes to her for any of the stuff that you want her to turn off, at the end she's like, well, that's kind of hypocritical of you, isn't it? Because you don't want this to happen at all, but now you told me to turn this off. And I'm just like, oh, jeez. So like, it really messes with your mind a little bit. And then you eventually get to the end and it was real good. Like, I'm not going to say what happens, but like, there is this one part like right at the end where it's like, oh, you can do this thing or just keep doing what you're doing. And it's pretty obvious that if you keep doing what you're doing, like that's the good thing. And like, that's how you're going to get through this. But like, just that little level of curiosity, you're like, okay, but I really want to see what happens if I do this. And I did that. And it was bad, Cody. I thought I was like going to be in a stalemate and not be able to finish the game, but I eventually got through it. I don't know that there's a good ending to this game though. And at the end you have to make a decision about something to tell somebody. And it was like, oh, it was a tough one too. So while I didn't enjoy all of the gameplay, I really liked the story and I liked the level of thinking that it made me do, and like the way it made me uncomfortable a lot of the time. And I thought it was really cool that it did that. So yeah, and because you do find out that Donovan and Brandy's they love each other and it's very sweet. So that was cute. It made it, that's why I picked it for Pride, but then it turned out to be like just a really cool game in general. So I would definitely recommend it. And also I just like that, the sexuality wasn't the focus of the game. It's just like a lot of visual novels and stuff. They're telling a story that's highly tied into that. But, the ultimate goal of everything, I think, is to just normalize it and just have it be here. Like, yeah, these are two people and this is who they are and it's a part of who they are. But it's not the main point of the story. So it's always cool to see stuff like that. So the Red Strings Club. Do
you think that, like, Donovan is kind of like a self-aware NPC? Like, he knows, like, he can't leave the bar? But, like, because the second you were like, he's like, for some reason he can't leave the bar. And then he asks all these questions, and I'm like, he's like an NPC.
It's like they hint at there's this supernatural thing going on, because he knows he can't leave the bar. Like, he like knows that there's this weird stuff about him, but like we don't know the full details of it. But it's like clear there's like some type of backstory there that's very interesting, but they just chose not to tell us all about it yet.
Red Strings Club too,
definitely could be. So there's room for stuff to happen. So, but yeah, very good. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. There's one thing I wanted to mention as a small addendum to my Pride pick of the week. I tried this other game called The Outer Wilds, which, first, don't confuse that with The Outer Worlds, because I was doing that. And I went to it, I was like, this isn't what I expected. And then I'm like, oh yeah, it's not that game. This is an exploration game, and it's very freeform. You just kind of go and like find stuff out on your own. I'm not big on that kind of game. Also, I was horrible at flying the ship and horrible with my jetpack, so I didn't last long in this game. But the cool thing about it, you're playing as one of these aliens, and the whole alien race is non-binary, and so they all use they for their pronouns. And I just thought that was really cool to just have that in there and just have a nice non-binary representation as well. So I just wanted to mention it. Also, people love this game. Like, I'm hearing like nothing but good things about it. It just wasn't for me because it's not my type of game. But it's pretty cool. And it has some good mystery. I played enough to like see some of the mystery. And so they're definitely doing stuff there. So you should check it out. But yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I did really quick just want to mention, I think I've come to the decision, and actually I've done it. I have deleted Marvel Strike Force off my phone.
Whoa, that's out of left field. Was it becoming a problem?
No, it was just kind of, they started doing some very like shady stuff, like just like, because right now they're doing big pushes like this like X-Men stuff because Dark Phoenix the movie is coming out, and like there was a lot of like just it was back there just jumping around.
She was thinking about clawing that chair a little bit before she jumped up. We have a little situation we're dealing with.
They're not treating their fan base right from what I'm reading, and like I don't want to invest time in a game where like by the time I get to the end it's just like no one wants to play this game because they were treated so badly. And so like after a couple of days of like thinking on it, I was kind of like, like this has been fun, but maybe I need to find another mobile game. So I've deleted it off my phone, and I spent $6 on the game, and I had my fun with it. That's all that matters.
You had well worth $6 worth of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
So, yeah.
Sam, tell me about Void Bastards.
Okay, I'm so sorry. Big yawn.
After you take a quick nap.
That was like the longest yawn in history. Okay, so Void Bastards, it's on Game Pass. Forgot to mention The Outer Wilds is also on Game Pass. So good stuff coming to Game Pass these days. Void Bastards is a kind of roguelike. I don't even know how to explain this. So you're a prisoner and you're on this ship, and it sends you out to go check out other ships to basically loot for supplies. That's really what you're doing. Like when I started, my main mission was I need to make a new citizen card, and to do that I needed to get a line printer and then like this card template or something. So I only had to get 2 items, but like they're way kind of across the solar system. So you have to go through and stop at all these other ships on your way to get there. As you go, you get different supplies, you get different weapons. It's cool because it's like I guess it's the cell shading type of artwork, so it looks like a comic book. And some of like when you die, it like has like little storybook panels like showing like your backpack getting jettisoned back to the ship, because when you die you get just a new prisoner to play as. So everything that you've crafted remains with you because it's on the ship, so you keep it, but like your food and your fuel is gone and you have to start over. And each character has different perks or nerfs, I guess, that affect your gameplay. So, and like as you're going, so different ships will have different stuff on them. Like some ships will have a like DNA manipulator, and so you can like get different traits added, or if you have a bad trait, sometimes you can get it removed. So there's fun stuff like that where you can kind of customize your person, and then you're just kind of looting and getting supplies to build different stuff until you can accomplish your ultimate goal. Do you have a question?
Am I wrong in thinking this is the game that kind of looks like old school Doom, like going through the levels, or am I crazy? Maybe I'm mixing this up with a different game.
Well, I think you overestimate my familiarity with old style Doom, but it's a first person shooter type, so you're just going through, and it's these ships are kind of procedurally generated, and you go through them, and there'll be different types of enemies that you have to deal with. So maybe yes.
I feel like when I saw the trailer for this, I was like, oh, this looks like old school Doom. So
yeah. It's fun. It's like weirdly addictive. I feel like, because when you go through, like, you can see like what types of enemies are going to be on the ship, and you can see what kind of stuff you can loot. So if it's nothing that you really need, and there's like a lot of bad enemies, you don't have to get off on that ship and go scout. You can just go on to the next one as long as you have enough fuel. But like, you go and you're looting stuff, and it kind of feels like the beginning part of a battle royale, because you're just like going around trying to get all your loot. Yeah. Sometimes there's enemies there. Sometimes you just try to avoid them. It depends on what they are. Some of them are fine. Some of them, you don't want to mess with them. I just usually turn and run. I eventually got the kind of zapper electricity weapon, so I can stun the bad ones and then run away. Some of the like lesser enemies, you can close the door behind you and lock it so they can't come through. And then it's got like oil slicks sometimes. So many a time I got into a situation where I'd walk through a door, find this fucking turret there to get me, and so I'd be like, oh, I gotta get out of here. But then I'd slip on some oil and I'd be trying to get the door back open so I could get out. But like, if the doors like automatically close, so if you don't get through it and you back away too far, the door will close. And so I've got my slipping around on this fucking oil, so I can't like make it through the door. So I keep trying to open it and it keeps closing because I keep moving, and then I keep getting shot by this turret, and it's horrible. Oh my god, that has happened so many times. And it's got fun humor too. Like, there are these enemies that are like the juveniles, and so they're like calling you a butthole and stuff, and just like, it's funny. They all make funny sounds, and it's kind of got a fun sense of humor too, because like the computer on the main ship that talks to you like makes it clear that you're expendable and doesn't care about you. So it's good fun. It's a good gameplay loop. I haven't gotten through it. Like, I don't know if I get this citizen card made, if that's like, hey, you've done it, congratulations, or if like something else comes up after that and looks like, now you have to get this. I was very close to getting it one time. I just needed to get this one item off the ship, but I was in a real bad state. I was like about to die. I was under attack. I was like, I just need to get off the ship. And so I left, and then you can't go back to the same ship after you leave it. So then it was like, the next instance of that item was like really far away down the solar systems. Then I had to keep going for a ways. But yeah, I had a good time with it. And if you've got Game Pass, you should check it out. It's one of those that's just like addictive fun. So, but yeah, I like it.
That was Void Bastards.
Yeah.
Why don't you round it off, Sam, and tell a little bit about Little Friends? Now, like, I wasn't sure when you put this on your list, like, did you make some friends at work, or is this a video game?
Oh, man. Well, sad fact. So, my house has been mouse free for quite a while. Until fucking last night. No, that's not how it works, Cody. Last night, she comes in, runs down the hall. I'm like, what's going on? Because if she doesn't like talk to me when she comes in, and if she runs straight to the bathroom, I know it's a problem. She brought in a mouse, and I, of course, screamed. I was like, let it go! And I was like, I had this idea that I could catch it with the trash can. No. So there's a mouse in the house somewhere, and it'll be here. Do you
think she's going to the bathroom to wash her hands before she eats? Because if so, that's some fucking etiquette right there.
That's some etiquette. I don't think that's what's happening.
You don't think that's what's happening?
Also, she doesn't do a good job of actually killing mice in the house. They come in and they live here until they're done because she doesn't catch them again. So I've got a mouse now. That was not the point of this story. That is a little friend that now lives in the house. The much better story about the little friends. Okay, Cody. There's this game on Switch called Little Friends Dogs and Cats, and apparently it's like the old Nintendogs game, which I never played, but basically you get to have a little digital pet, and, I thought it looked adorable, and, I thought I might like to get this game, and just, because, I miss Gizmo, and, I want a dog, but also I don't want a dog. But I was like, I could have a digital dog, and that'd be really cool. Then I was like, oh, it's out already? I didn't know it was out. I looked at it's $50, Cody. I'm like, no, I'm not going to play this game enough for it to be worth $50 for me. But on Destructoid.com, they have giveaways all the time. So I found an article. They're like, we're having a giveaway for little friends. And all you had to do was make a comment on the post and you'd get entered in the drawing. So I was like, why not? So I made a Destructoid account and I left my little comment. And I was like, oh, I don't even know. And then I forgot about it. And then just on Tuesday, I was having a real bad day at work. That's when this like extra project got dropped on me. I was like, oh no. And I was like real stressed out. But then I checked my email and it was from Destructoid and they were like, hey, you won. You get a free copy of Little Friends. And I was so excited, Cody. I was like, oh my God, that's just what I needed to make my day better. So as soon as I got home, I downloaded it and I turned it on and it starts out and it's got like 3 puppies like just hanging around playing, and like you can pick which one you want to be your little friend. And Cody, immediately I got super choked up and I was like, oh my God, because you know it's been almost 2 years without Gizmo and I'm still not entirely over it. So obviously I was like, well, I can't have a Chihuahua in this game because like that's so I got I don't know how to say it, a Shiba Inu little dogs. Like there's little fluffy cute adorable. I decided I shouldn't have a boy puppy because Gizmo was my best boy and I don't want to so I got a little girl and she's brown and black and she's just adorable. And then yes,
the entire time you were talking about dogs, Aloy was just staring like lasers into your back, and now she's like, now that you kind of stop for a second, she's like, all right, we're good.
She knows that even though I love her very much, I'm more of a dog person than a cat person. And also she was like, I don't think she likes the amount of attention I give to this game. But, I named her Vindaloo because, like, I didn't know what to name her because I just hadn't thought that I'd have to name a dog yet. So I went back to my list of names that I'd come up with for what Aloy might be, and that was one of the ones on there. So I was like, that's fun. I'm going to take that. So little Vindaloo, she's adorable. Like, you can't use a Pro Controller. You have to use just motion controls, or sometimes you can do touchscreen. But it's annoying because you can't do touchscreen on everything, just like when you're petting your animal, you can use it. So you pet them, you can brush them, you can get a toy for them to play fetch with. Once they level up enough, you can get a frisbee and you take them out to catch the frisbee. Cody, I've never had a dog in real life that could catch a frisbee, so it's pretty adorable.
I've never seen a dog actually catch a frisbee in real life. I feel like it's a movie thing.
It's something that like mythical dogs do. But yeah, so, and then you can feed and water her. There's like a thing where you have to clean out the animal's toilet, which you just push a button and it's like, okay, the toilet's clean. But like, I don't ever understand when I'm supposed to do it, because like there are these little meters at the bottom that show like their happiness level, their hunger, their water, and then I think what is the toilet one. But like, it's never, I don't know, it's like sometimes it'll be like filled in a little bit and then sometimes it'll have a red X and I'm like, am I supposed to clean it then? And it's like, no, I don't know. So we've only cleaned the toilet once. I don't know. I can take her out for walks, and so she's just kind of constantly walking, and I have to like control her with the leash which way she goes. And there are little like tasks for when you're walking, so you have to walk a certain amount. She has to mark a certain number of times, which means she just has to pee places. And then there will be these spots where there's buried treasure, and she just has to dig up buried treasure for you. So like that's how you get more money and stuff to buy some of her different outfits, because they get outfits that you can, all kinds of outfits. There's also like a thing you can buy where it's got kind of like a little Santa or an elf that will ride on her back. I haven't unlocked that one yet. Right now I've got her with just a little neckerchief, so she's pretty cute. So yeah, you do that. Just you keep unlocking different things you can do with your pet as you level up. I was really excited because I was like, when you get your pet to level 15, you can go to the Friend Plaza. And I was like, oh man, I feel like she's going to get to go to the dog park, right? And go make friends. And so last night we got to level 15 and I'm like, all right, let's go. That's not what the Friend Plaza is. It's apparently where you can go to adopt another pet. And she doesn't. I wanted a dog park for her, but maybe there's something later where she can go to a dog park. And I'm not sure if you get another pet, if they can like hang out and play together. So I might get her another dog to be friends with, but I might not because I might just want to love her and not have to share my affection except with Aloy. But it's real cute.
Fair.
It's real cute. And Cody, I don't know if it's worth $50, but it's a real cute, fun game. And I'm having a good time with it. And I'm super happy that I got it for free. So.
Yeah. Well, you got it for free at least. That's pretty cool.
I know. It's great. So that's little friends, dogs, and cats.
Alright. How about you could get a cat instead of a dog?
Yeah, I have a cat, so like I don't feel the need to have a
You really should offer
cat.
like a hamster. Like the hamster could ride on the dog's back, you know?
That would be fantastic, Cody.
That would be.
I would love that. But yeah.
Alright. Well, Sam, you still a lot of talking, thank you. But this works out better for the show because now we're gonna move into the Destiny download. Sorry, what?
If it had a theme song, I don't think that's how it would go.
I don't think it would be. Well, my thought was I was going to be, was I come in here and be like, it's the Destiny download like
I still don't think that's the theme song for it either.
Okay. We're going to figure this out, okay?
Effort.
Jim, write a theme song. All right. So, I've been playing a lot of Destiny 2. Like, a lot of Destiny 2. Like, I got back into it.
You took a full day off work to play Destiny 2, right?
I took a full day off work. Okay, I was like, okay, we'll get to that. So I guess like the first big thing is like, you know, so last time I talked about Destiny, I was like, oh, I've been playing the Hunter more. I just need to change the pace from the Titan. The issue is when you like are a main of a certain character for so long and you haven't done other quest steps on other characters, and you're lazy like I am. You're like, I don't want to redo these missions
so
that I worked
weird,
so hard
like,
for.
I don't feel, when it comes to video game grinding, that you're what I would call lazy. I feel like you are the one who's like, yeah, let me start a new character. Let me just do all this again. Yeah, let's just go through and do it.
I think in other games I'm fine with it, but like, something about Destiny, if I've done it on my Titan, I don't want to redo it on my Warlock or my Hunter. Like, it's just like how I was trying to figure, the forges for the Black Armory. I have only on my Hunter the first one unlocked, and with my Warlock, but like I have them all unlocked on my Titan, and like I was like, I don't want to go grind and unlock these again because like those are some long quest steps, and like I just wanted to play.
Is it because they're
like,
a pain in the ass and they're not as fun as you might think they would be?
The forges have grown on me a lot, but I'll get into that. So I went back to the Titan, but I started playing with the other subclasses because they've improved a lot of them, like the Striker Titan, the Bottom Tree. You can keep your super going like forever pretty much because they reworked it to where now when you do a shoulder charge in the super, it's like really low cost to use it, but then when you use it and kill something with it, it refreshes and like gives you more super energy back. So like you can just keep running around shoulder striking like stuff, and like in Gambit Prime and Gambit, like you can clear entire waves by yourself to just going in there and like shoulder charging everything. And then I got the Ursa Furiosa exotic arms for the Sentinel Titan, and it makes it to where when you're holding up your shield and defending people, and like people keep shooting you, you get super energy back based on how much damage you absorb. And like so, I've been playing that, and so I've just been kind of like trying different play styles versus just always being a Sunbreaker Titan. I always will love Sunbreaker. It's like one of my favorites. I love popping hammers and just throwing hammers left and right. It's just fun. But yeah, I'm back on the Titan. So as Seasons of Drifter was coming to a close, I was doing my best to try and like get all the powerful gear I can, like get to 700 before the new season started. And by having to do that, I like had to start doing the forges again, and I also had to do what came in Seasons of the Drifter called the Reckoning. And I despise the Reckoning. I think the Reckoning is one of the worst game modes they've ever come up with because of the reliance on like 3 supers. And then they nerfed like the exotics that help those supers, and like I don't ever want to play Reckoning. Like I'm good. Like I just don't
I remember, I think I played it once and I didn't care for it either.
Well, tier 1 Reckoning is fine. It's just like a fucking horde mode, but like tier 2 and tier 3 is just a nightmare. It is a nightmare. It is like, I don't enjoy it. Like, there's this bridge that's forming, and then like you have to go stand in a circle in the bridge, but enemies keep coming at you, and you can get stomped off this bridge. Like, if you don't have a hunter using tether, like it's fucking awful. Like, I was doing my best with my Sentinel Titan holding up my shield, defending everybody, but like, ugh. Like, I don't enjoy the Reckoning at all. I was really glad I may never have to go back to that, besides like doing 1 or 2 to get some weekly gear. But like, yeah, but by realizing how much I don't like the Reckoning, I've really grown to love the Forges, because like the Forges are so easy now. Like, you just blow through them like nobody's business. And like, yeah, and I actually just got the Izanagi's Burden. It's that sniper rifle that looks like a sword. And that you can like, okay,
I'm not familiar with it. No.
Okay, it looks like a sword. You can like charge, like you can take 4 bullets, turn it into 1 super shot, and like it does a bunch of damage. And so I finally finished that up. That was pretty cool. But then the kind of coolest thing I did before the new season started was I did the 0-hour mission, which this is how you get Outbreak perfected, which was returned from Destiny 1. This is a similar mission to the Whisper. I really love the Whisper mission. Like, what's up?
Quick question. Is the Whisper mission the same thing as the Whisper of the Worm mission?
Yes.
Okay, alright, just checking, because I never knew that. I heard people talking, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah, the Whisper of the Worm mission. I was trying, because I've done it twice now, because the first time we failed and the second time we got it. I was trying to figure out, like, which one I like more, and I do feel like I ended up liking Whisper of the Worm more, because I don't know, like, I think it's just like the kind of ambiance of that place, because like as you're going through it, Zol is talking to you. He's like, go drift, like this is your resting place, stuff like that. Like, he's just talking to you throughout it, and it's really cool. Whereas in 0 Hour, it is cool to go back through the old tower, but like, and there's a nice mix of combat versus like platforming stuff.
Is there less jumping in 0 Hour?
Yeah, I'd say so, but you need to be more.
There's still a lot.
There's still a good chunk. Like, there's a good chunk of jumping. But there's also just like there's a section. There's a thing right now where there's a robot named Trevor. Because you go into this room, and like the room is like sectioned off into like a rectangle, but then like there are 4 squares connected to the rectangles, and you got to go down those squares and flip switches. And then you go back to the main rectangle, and the like exit at the end. So you're gonna hit all 4. Yeah.
Whatever.
But this Trevor robot will fly by like 9,000 miles per hour and kill you in 1 hit. And so like you'll be rounding a corner, and like your screen will start to shake, your controller will shake, and then you see red coming at you, and it's just Trevor just fucking hits you. Mach 10. It's like, oh fuck.
Does he talk?
No, he doesn't. But yeah, I mean, yeah, and then like it is really cool because like the mission. This is spoilers, by the way, if you don't want to hear this stuff. The mission kind of ends with like there is a fallen captain who has allied himself with the Guardians, and he's now helped you get this outbreak perfected. And like it's kind of cool that like, hey, we're partnering with the Fallen again, because we had done it with the Spider and stuff.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that's really cool. And then like that was kind of the last thing I really did before Season of Opulence started. Overall, as someone who likes Gambit, I think Gambit Prime was a great addition. I don't enjoy the Reckoning at all. I don't think it was a very fun thing. The Trials of the Nine, even though I missed out on a lot of them, I still think it was very cool. I think the cutscenes we got from it are very cool, and like the implications are like the Drifter has seen those pyramid ships coming in his dreams, and like he knows that like, hey, we're gonna be the ones to like have to fight back against them. Is kind of cool. But yeah, and then so I did take off the Tuesday of Season of Opulence for a couple reasons.
Coincidentally, it's fine.
I get a day off for my birthday. My birthday was last week, so I was like, oh, I'll take a day off. Because not only was Season of Opulence coming out, but so was Elsewhere, and I was like, well, either one of these I'm playing most of the day. It so happened it was Destiny 2. I also went and got my oil changed in my car because it's been a hot minute.
Yeah.
So I was
you had to do some stuff. It's fine.
And
there's
really
nothing wrong with taking off a day from work to play video games.
Yeah,
I do it
wrong with that.
With frequency.
So yeah, Season of Opulence dropped, and I think this is the first update that they're saying like published by Bungie, developed by Bungie. Yeah.
Okay. Since they split with Activision, it's their
since they split with Activision,
all their own.
I know Vicarious Visions did help with this one a lot, so like we do want to give like props there. I think this season is off to a fucking great start. Like, oh my god. So they like kind of introduce you to this robot named Benedict, and he is kind of like
before, didn't we?
Yeah, but like if you've never done the Leviathan raids, like yeah.
Okay.
And so Benedict is like Callus is like controlling him and talking through him. It's kind of cool. And he's like, oh, like I'm inviting you back to my ship. Like, come to the barge and like stuff like that. What's up?
Isn't Callus a bad guy?
He's kind of a bad guy, kind of not. From what I've been reading, he's kind of starting to like go a little crazy. We'll get into it.
Were we not fighting against him in the Leviathan raid?
We were.
Okay, sometimes you fight with people and then later you're friends. It's fine. Yeah. It happens.
Spoilers for the Leviathan raid. It's been like 2 years since that raid released. So you think you're killing Callus at the end. It's actually a robot version of Callus. And so like Callus is he's knowing what he's doing. There's some cool lore with Callus. Like apparently after Gaul kicked him out of the Red Legion, Callus got on that ship and like they'd kind of sailed to the edge of the universe and like they saw something in the dark beyond and it's forever changed Callus, and that's kind of that. So yeah, Benedict is like, starts this like really long quest line, which is like also the Power Surge quest line. It's now not Power Surge bounties, it's one long quest line. What's up?
You said really long. Like, how long is this?
Like 2-ish hours if you play straight. But it's all like really simple stuff. It's like go to a planet, kill some Vex. Go to a planet, kill some Cabal.
Okay.
Like go do this. Like it's all really simple stuff. And you get 690 gear, which does get you up to the place you want to be. Lets you get into the kind of pinnacle activity for this season called the Menagerie. So like I said, there is a YouTube video up, geekardgames.com/YouTube. And like I give some thoughts on it, and you can actually see some gameplay of it. I think this is the best activity that Destiny has ever implemented. It is pretty much raid light, whereas in like it is taking you through all these different encounters. I think there's 5 encounters, and then like one of them is a boss. And each encounter is like mechanics from like an old raid or like something you would be expected to do in a raid, but simplified down enough because you are matchmaking with random people in this if you want to, and like it's a ton of fun, like just everything you're doing. And like it's not a darkness zone, so you're not like there's not a 30-second timer to respawn. Like you're back up in 4 seconds, so if you die, it's not that big of a deal.
She said back up in 4 seconds.
Okay, all right. And so yeah, like it's just a ton of fun, and it's rewarding because while you're doing that quest to get your Power Surge stuff done, you're given this thing called a chalice. And this chalice, you can slot runes into it. And what you do is you put like certain like grouping of runes into it. You go to the Menagerie at the end, based on the runes that you put into this chalice. When you open the chest, you're going to pull whatever gun or armor you want out of it based on the runes you put in. And so like people are already making spreadsheets of like, if you mix these two together, you get this gun. And like, so like if you find a gun you really like, you figure out like, I need like a red rune and a purple rune, and this gives me a sniper. You can farm for that sniper forever and get like the roll you want on it and stuff like that. And like it's a really cool aspect that I'm liking about it because like
how do you get the runes?
The runes will just drop randomly. Like sometimes you'll do a strike and they'll drop. They do give you a couple for doing this quest. There is a ship on Nessus called the Barge, and like after you do a quest, you can go up to it and you can open chests and they could give you runes. So like, and it's like 5,000 glimmer to do it. So like the kind of point is like farm up some glimmer, go open a chest every now and then, get a rune. And it takes out that like RNG aspect because like, say I find a hand cannon that I really love, but it took me 17 hours to get that hand cannon. Now I can for sure always get the hand cannon I want as long as I have the runes, and you just get the runes from playing. So like, it's always worth it.
How do you know what gun you want if you haven't already got it?
That's also kind of the fun part. Is like you're learning. We're figuring this chalice thing out as a community. Like there are so many spreadsheets out there.
Because you really have to check those to know the recipe to get certain guns. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just trial and error. You put something in.
Well, on the runes, like on the runes, it does say like this has a chance of dropping an SMG. Like the first one they give you is called Rune of the Beast. It's a purple rune, and it's like this is going to give you an SMG. So no matter what, as long as you put a Rune of the Beast in, you would get an SMG. But then like you can have up to 3 runes. There's like another set for runes, and that determines the RPM. Like rounds per minute. And so like the newer like Menagerie SMG is like one of these runes based on the RPM. So if you can figure out the RPM for it, you can slot it in. As long as you got a Rune of the Beast and that, you get the new Menagerie SMG. Stuff like that.
What's the power level like on these guns that you make?
I believe the first one you pull is always higher than the level you are. Because I pulled a 720 SMG the first time, and I was 710. So
what about the second one that you pulled?
The second one I got was 705, so not as bad. But still, yeah, I'm still with you. Like, no, it should always be kind of like at power level. But if you're farming the same item over and over again, like how you kind of want to do if you want a certain item, you can like keep farming it, get the rolls you want, and then infuse stuff. So yeah, I know. Trust me, I'm right there with you. I wish everything just dropped at my fucking power level. It would be so nice. There's also like a lot of small things they did. Like the Eververse store is now like there's a lot of direct purchase and stuff. I see a lot of complaints with it because like a lot of people are comparing it to like a free to play mobile game store because like everything is like 200 silver.
Well, what kind of stuff is in the store now?
The same usual stuff like armor, emotes, ships, stuff like that. Yeah. I think the big backlash is coming from the fact that instead of how every season there's an engram that drops the new stuff, this season they have a best of year 1 engram, and like it has like older emotes and older ships and older sparrows and stuff like that in it. And so like if you want to buy something directly with like your bright dust, you have to wait for it to rotate each week. And like I think it's just like one of those like fear of missing out things, like oh, you forget to buy something, maybe it won't come back around. But this is like it's supposed to last. Like this is lasting us till August, like the end of August, because as we'll talk about later, the new expansion comes out in September. So I feel like people are just like a little like freaking out a little bit about it. Like Bungie's gotta make money somehow. Like
yeah, definitely.
And like these are cosmetics at the end of the day. You're not buying something to like make yourself stronger. Like this is all cosmetics. If you want it, go farm for it. Because like they're now like you can farm bright dust through these Eververse bounties like ridiculous. Like I think they refresh every day, and like you get a lot of bright dust from these bounties. And then they launched the new raid the same day, and that was another big reason I took off is because I wanted to watch the raid race, because I never like actually sat down and watched one of these raid races. Like I listened to a lot of the Last Wish one, but I wanted to sit down and watch this one, and like this new raid looks incredible. It's hive based. There's a lot of mechanics, and like I'm planning on, when we're recording this weekend, trying to get into the raid and completing it, because if you complete it before the next reset, which is a Tuesday after this podcast releases, you can go buy a snazzy jacket. I really want the snazzy jacket.
It's a fucking badass looking jacket. I
It's
want
like
the jacket. I'm like, there's no way I'm ever
It's
gonna
like a
do
little,
this. But
like almost like a bomber jacket, and then you like open it, and like it's the chalice like imprinted on the inside, and I was like, ooh, really cool. That looks really fucking cool. I really want that.
It's so awesome. It's probably it's gonna be like $100. FYI.
Oh yeah, definitely. So. Yeah. Worth it.
I feel like it would be though.
And like this is just the first week. Like next week we have an exotic rocket launcher quest starting, and a new boss is coming to Menagerie. I really think the Menagerie is something I hope they like can come back to and like improve on in like future seasons and future updates, because like I really think like a mechanic, because like realistically like matchmaking for a raid would never work because of how like intense those mechanics are. And like one person a person dies, they're just gonna rage quit, and like that just ruins groups. And like, but this like it feels easy enough that I do think like this is something they can work with, and like this can keep people who can't do the raids busy, because it is like almost like a raid. Like you're almost there. Like, yeah.
I'm gonna test this out and I'll report back.
Okay, yeah, let me know.
Yeah.
I mean, you've done a raid now. We've made sure of that.
Yeah, I did. But I don't necessarily have the patience for a lot of raid stuff.
I think you'll be fine. The later levels right before the boss level do get a little more challenging because of your light. It goes up in light level each time, and so like it starts at 690, and then at some point you're hitting like the 730s, and like if you're just too low, like you're not really doing a lot of damage. But like it's still fun. I don't know. I had a blast even when I was dying.
I'm gonna do the quest to get up to 690, and then that's probably where I'll be. So we'll see what happens.
So yeah, like a lot of cool stuff coming. I think I'm most excited for this exotic hand cannon quest called the Lumina. That happens on July 2nd. There's apparently some very big lore implications with the Thorn, and as everyone knows, I love the Thorn. I love the Dredgens, and like I'm in to that. So I'm excited for that. But Sam, transitioning, they did a Destiny reveal today when we were recording this of the new expansion. A lot of leaks happening this week.
Yes.
Before this even happened.
Well, the live stream was supposed to go live in like 10 or 15 minutes, and like someone in Discord's like, hey, here's the trailer for Shadowkeep. And it's like, wait, what about...
Well, I think they, we'll talk about this later too, I think they played it at the Google Stadia thing.
Oh, maybe that's what happened. Yeah. I don't recall. I watched both, and I don't even recall what all happened.
So yeah. Bungie sat down and they decided to let us know the future of Destiny 2. And so this September 17th, they're releasing the new expansion called Shadowkeep. And we're returning to the moon. Eris Morn is returning to let us know that the moon has been taken over. There's some Hive, there's some Fallen, and there's these...
But not taken?
Not taken.
It was taken over, but not by the Taken. That's so weird.
But there are these nightmares there. Ooh. And yeah, like, so like they had this big live stream and they had a Vidoc, and like, I told Sam.
Quick question. What's Vidoc stand for?
Video documentary.
Okay.
Vidoc.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I told Sam, like, I was like, I make her on this podcast because I was watching the Vidoc, because I couldn't watch the live stream until later, and I was like watching the Vidoc, and like just how happy they are to kind of now be like free from Activision and like get to do what they want to do, which is like they want to make this like an MMORPG shooter kind of game. Like they're bringing back like stats and like all these things, and like they seem all so fucking happy. I started to tear up about it. I was like, oh my god, like I'm so happy for Bungie, because like they seem like they're doing what they want to do now. Like they want to make this game like for the hardcore players, but also for the casuals, as we'll talk about, because like this game is becoming free to play in some aspects, and like that's so cool, because that's something we've talked about for a while. Is like how cool would it be if like this Base Destiny 2, because Base Destiny 2 is a good game. Like,
it's a really good game.
Is like amazing.
Well,
and,
hold on, let me clarify, because I was listening to it too, and I believe that they said that like each season when they bring stuff, there's going to be stuff that's available to the free, and there's going to be paid premium. So people are going to keep getting new content, even if they're just on the free base package. So, but that's really cool.
Yeah. And so yeah, they kind of they came out and they're like, oh, like we're embracing the MMO and the RPG aspects of this game. We're going to bring that to the new expansion. And then they kind of like talked a little bit more about some stuff. And they started the Vidoc, and yeah, like a lot of cool stuff. First off, finishing moves. Your character, like, they showed like the hunter like pulled some knives out and was like doing like a spin attack. The Titan like does like a Superman punch, and then like the Warlock like seems to like conjure up like force energy and like that's nothing. Something I never expected in Destiny, and like I'm so in. Like it seems so cool. They kind of tease some of like the exotic weapons coming. Like there's a heavy bow, and when like the woman who was showing us like how she's working on it she shot it and like the arrow landed and it made enemies like fly upwards, and she's like, oh, maybe it's a little bit too big of an explosion. They had like a hand cannon with a scope on it that like acted like a sniper. What was the other exotic? Oh, it was a trace rifle that like the more you like hit a certain spot, it would create a crit spot, I think, for everybody. So like I guess maybe you could like use that as like a debuffing thing. That seems really cool. It's like it's a small little thing.
Yeah.
So this is self-published by Bungie. They have partnered with Google Stadia, which we'll talk about a little bit more when we talk about the Google Stadia Connect. Cross save is coming. So what this means is that if you want to play on PC and you play on PS4, you can now take your character to the PC freely. And I actually just read like right before the podcast, this was like decided yesterday. Like Sony finally agreed to it yesterday. Wow. Like they had to go in there and be like, hey, we're announcing this tomorrow. Do you want to be a part of this or not? And Sony was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So that's really cool.
That's awesome. It's about time Sony, came to the ballgame with people.
So as long as you own Destiny on whatever platform you're playing on, as long as you have a Bungie.net account, you'll be able to carry your character, your guns, everything over to that. So that's really cool. They also announced that this...
but like if you've got the paid stuff, like you'd have to pay for it on two systems if you wanted to use it on two systems, right?
You would have to buy Shadowkeep on both Xbox and PlayStation if you wanted to go back and forth.
Yeah, okay.
I'm really excited for that. Like, I like that aspect of that. Like, if let's say we have community members on Xbox, we can go do that if we wanted to.
I mean, to be fair, like, I've got it on PS4, Xbox, and PC, so I'm like, sure, I would love to take my PS4 character everywhere. So
Destiny 2 is going free to play in September. The base game up to Forsaken is called like New Light.
Oh, is that what it was? I was confused. I thought New Light was a completely different thing, or maybe I guess. But it was saying like because New Light you can come in completely brand new, and it just like gets you up to a level where you can do everything with everybody else. You don't have to grind through.
Yeah.
Like you did before. Like you can go back and play the original stuff, but like you're already going to be at a level where you can jump in with your friends who've been playing for 2 years. So that was really cool.
Yes. So yeah, it's free to play and that. Like you're kind of like just given a power increase. And then alongside that, they're moving from the Blizzard launcher to Steam, which is really cool. I did like Luke Smith's kind of like, they're like, some might say we need an Epic partner. Like, that they were going to maybe announce the Epic Game Store, and instead they went the Steam Store. I was like, oh damn, Luke Smith throwing the shade. And so with part of this announcement, currently Forsaken in the annual pass is now $40. So if you own Destiny 2 and Curse of Osiris and Warmind are free, so you're only paying $40. If you own the base game,
like, was that what it always has been? Forsaken, like it's not on. No, that's like the normal price. I thought
Forsaken was $40, and then annual pass is $40, so it's just a half. It's a half reduction. So yeah,
the annual pass for like the Black Armory and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And Shadowkeep by itself is $35. I think it's a very fair price. Yeah, it's a very fair price. Sam, any thoughts? I feel like I'm forgetting something. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
No, I think you've covered everything pretty well. I'm not sure how I feel about Shadowkeep. I mean, the trailer looks awesome, but again, like I don't know if this is going to be more of like a story expansion part where it's going to have like cutscenes and like that kind of stuff, because that's what gets
I think
me.
it is.
I hope it has that, because if it has that, I'm back in, definitely. And like, I'm happy for you for the MMORPG aspect of it. I don't know how I feel about that, because like, I don't feel that I've ever really gotten into one of those games, because most of the ones that I've tried have not been first-person shooter MMORPGs. And I feel like that's a completely different animal. So I don't know, like maybe I do like that kind of game and I just don't know yet. But also like, I don't like grinding, and I don't care about like fancy new guns and stuff. Like I have some guns that I like, and I'm like, yeah, these are good, I'm good. So it's like, you know, so I don't know that it does the same appeal to me as other people might. But you know, and I don't know what my problem is, because I mean, even the story missions, you just go in and you shoot some stuff, and then you go and you shoot some other stuff. It's like,
I'm shocked you're not more into this, because like they kind of like talked about like this is a more like horror-y kind of like, they're like Forsaken was this Wild West like cowboy story, and then
it was, but Forsaken was also kind of horror-y.
Sure, so. And then this one is like they were like, this is like dark and twisted and like horror themed, and I was like, ooh, I'm into this.
If it's like Forsaken was as an expansion wise, as a story wise, then like, yeah, I'm all.
I think it is. I think it definitely is. I think they've probably been working on this for a while.
Okay.
I think the annual pass. Let's talk about this now. I think the annual pass, this first round, I think by the end of it, they've kind of realized what they want the annual pass to be. I think they got off to a rocky start with Black Armory, but like I think they realized like, and they can't keep doing like how they were doing Warmind and Curse of Osiris with like these like small campaigns, because people were complaining about them. They were like, this is just like, you're just trying to give us something, but like we'd rather you just go. So I do feel like Shadowkeep is going to be like a Forsaken level like story, and then the annual pass after that, it will just keep adding stuff. So people who want to play Destiny 2 year round, like an MMORPG, that's what they do. But yeah, and then I think actually Shadowkeep and the annual pass is just $60. So you're only paying an extra $25 for the annual pass this time. So that's a drop. Like they've dropped the price of both the expansion and the annual pass this time. So that's really cool. And then there is a physical collector's edition up on the Bungie.net store. It's only up on the Bungie.net store, I've noticed. Not on GameStop or anything. I think it's part of the whole self-publishing thing. They probably realized they can only do so much. Yeah. And I looked on the PS4 store earlier, because I knew like there was a leak right before the stream went live of the Shadowkeep listing on Microsoft. There's like a couple bonuses you get from pre-ordering from the PlayStation Store. I think you get a rocket launcher like right now in game, the Two-Tailed Fox, and it comes with a hive ornament, so that's kind of cool. I'm excited for this. I think everything they showed looks really cool. I know for you, MMORPG is just something, but like for me, I was like, yes. I know. I'm that's like what you want. That's like what you've been craving. Well, like somebody like screen capped a shot and they zoomed in, and like it was like mobility, resistance, recovery, strength, intellect. I forget what the last one is. It's the stuff from Destiny 1. Instead of recovery and all that, it was those three. And I was like, fuck yes, let's go. Stats. I'm so excited. And so yeah. Because like it's still gonna have that shooting, like how great Destiny feels.
Yeah.
And like, yeah. All right, real quick, do you have anything else to say about this?
I'm hoping that I love it and I come back to Destiny, because you know, I'm not a full-time Destiny'er, but I love coming back and getting back into it for a while. So yeah.
Well, before we transition into the Stadia announcement, I did want to show I got the Destiny Grimoire.
Nice.
Really nice. It's really fucking nice feeling, like this like faux leather kind of stuff. Yeah. I'm really excited to get into that. So Bungie announced, actually before this, it was announced Google Stadia partnered with Bungie. And so they talked about like how we partnered with Google Stadia, and so today Stadia had their Connect, not to be confused with the Connect like the Xbox Connect. And so yeah, they went through their lineup of games. So some really cool stuff in here. They talked about the pricing model, like where you're going to get to play it, what you can play, like depending on your internet speed, stuff like that. They talk about a Founders Edition. Sam, do you want to get into it, or you're eyeing me like, yeah?
So let me tell you, I was watching this Stadia, and like I feel like I don't think they did a good job of clarifying what was what, and I don't know if it was purposefully misleading or if it was just happened to be that way. Because like I watched it and I still didn't understand until we were having discussions afterwards. I was like, are you paying for the monthly service and getting like a games library, like a games pass? And because like I felt like they were kind of saying that in the thing and showing all these games, but I was like, I'm not sure what would be included in the subscription and what you would have to buy separately. But then afterwards I was being told, no, it's not a games pass like subscription. It's just a service for quality streaming, and maybe you'll get some free games, kind of like a PS Plus type games sometimes. But all these premium games that they were showing off, those are ones that you would still have to pay like you would normally pay to buy a game. And so like I was just like, I don't and then the Paul Tamayo from Kotaku was talking in his Discord, and he was saying that even though they talked about, you'll be able to play Stadia on all these devices, at launch, you'll only actually be able to play it on Chromecast on your TV with the Stadia controller. So, like, you won't be able to play on your phones right away, and apparently you won't be able to play on browsers right away, is what he was saying. Which I definitely didn't get that from the presentation. I feel like it might just be their gatekeeping way to move some hardware. You only get to play it this way from the beginning to get you to buy those founder packs or whatever. I don't know. It's such a neat idea of what Stadia is. Like, I'm not ready for it. They were talking about how you have to have kind of like a minimum of 10 megabytes of internet speed to do it well. And so there's these speed tests. So we were all like, oh, let's go do our speed tests, right? So I did mine, and I got 5 megabytes, which it was like, no, yeah, you're too low. You can't do it. I remembered, I'm downloading Slay the Spire, because Slay the Spire came to Switch today. Ha ha ha. It's a quick download, though. So when that finished, I was like, let me try my streaming speed again. I tested again, and it had gone down to 3 megabytes. I was like, oh. So then I was like, maybe it's just my computer, because my computer's crappy. Maybe it's having a problem. Let me try it on my phone. Tried it on my phone. It also was 3 megabytes. Our good friend Andy over in Discord, did you see his post he tested? Did you see what his speed was?
I did not. What was it?
Hold on, I was gonna pull it up because it was a quite impressive speed. Yeah. It was like over 100 megabytes. Let's see.
So some of the games they kind of like announced was Baldur's Gate 3 was announced, which I've never played those games, but that looked fucking cool.
It looked fucking awesome, yeah.
I was like, oh shit, I'm in.
Although I have concerns, I'm like, if it's plays like a Divinity Original Sin, then I'm probably not going to be as into it. But it had a real cool trailer.
It did. They showed off the Division 2. A lot of Ubisoft games they showed off, like Ghost Recon Breakpoint, Division 2. The announcement was that like if you buy the Founders Edition, which is $130, you get the entire Destiny 2 experience, which is everything up to Shadowkeep and the annual pass for Shadowkeep. So from what I'm understanding is that if you pay $10 a month, you get Stadia Pro, which is just like guaranteed improved streaming on top of the games you have to buy and stuff. This is also like the PS Plus subscription, I assume, where you get some free games every now and then. They announced the Founders Edition, which is $130. And this guarantees you a controller, which the controller looks kind of like a more circular Xbox controller, in my opinion. A Chromecast Ultra, which the only review I've seen of this is that like it's nicer than a Chromecast. Makes sense.
Okay.
The guarantee that you get to pick your Stadia name, because I guess that's really fucking important.
Pick it early, I guess.
Yeah.
You could get Cody before anybody else gets Cody.
Yeah.
So.
The Destiny 2 experience is what they also offered. Is there something else?
I don't know.
You get 3 months of the Pro, and then you get a Buddy Pass, which also gives someone else 3 months of Stadia Pro. And then they were like, but if you don't want any of that, you can just have Stadia Base, which is just like the Stadia, like, it's just the Steam
you
store.
Just buy a game
Stadia.
as you want to, and you use it with Stadia, so you don't have to pay for anything else, just the game.
I will say, this is not for me right now. Like, the internet at this house is awful, like, most of the time. But like in a future where like I have my own place and I have a nice internet connection, hopefully, I do see the benefit of like, especially now with cross save, like the TV in the living room is where my PlayStation is, but the TV in my bedroom, like, got the Chromecast. Let me log in. Let me play some Destiny 2 from my bed in my living or my bedroom. I see the benefit there. This does seem kind of cool. The idea of like being able to play wherever does seem kind of cool. I do think there are technical limitations with the streaming stuff that they do concern me. There was the article posted that like, what is it? 36 hours of streaming 4K is like 1 terabyte or something like that.
I saw 1 terabyte was 65 hours, but
65 hours. Okay.
Still, it's gonna go through your data, and if you have a data cap, you're in trouble.
Yeah, like I think that's a very big thing in Canada, so like I feel very bad for them. But yeah, this all seems nice. It is. It's just like this is gonna promote change in the gaming atmosphere. Like I also read an article where like the reason the Sony Microsoft Microsoft partnership happened was because they were like, hey, we need to work together so Google Stadia does not fucking murder both of us.
Yeah.
So it's gonna promote change in the gaming space, and like I can recognize this is pretty cool. It's just not for me.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel that it is the future, but I feel like the future is not yet. Like we're not quite ready for it. But I mean, like people talked about, you know, we loved our DVDs and our cassette tapes, and now everything is digital. You know, like I'm buying movies digitally because I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I don't need to have a physical copy of the movie. So, I mean, I can see it getting there eventually, but I don't know. I don't know why it's such a difference because, like, my streaming movies is fine. My playing online games is fine, but apparently my internet connection sucks. So, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, hopefully, like, eventually, like, this is obviously, like, what they're having at launch. Maybe as they go on, they get better, like they can accommodate for like people with slower internet, hopefully. That's kind of the dream I think we all have.
And ideally it's spurring internet providers to give better services and to grow and advance in technology to be able to keep up with the demand.
All right. So that was the Stadia Connect. So we actually did get some like pre-E3 stuff in. Because this is releasing like while E3 is going on.
Yeah.
I think really quickly we're gonna hit on this Pokemon Direct and then call it a show because we are going a little bit long.
Okay.
And maybe next week we can talk about the Call of Duty stuff because apparently we have contrasting.
No, we're not. I promise you now, we're not going to talk about it next week.
Oh shit! No, we're not because it's E3 next week. It's
now
fucking
or never.
Crazy. All right. So real quick, Pokemon Direct. Fucking hyped. Let's go. Sword and Shield Pokemon Direct. A great trailer. Great song. Loved it. So they got the Galar region is what this new game is based in. The kind of like gimmicky feature that they've just become staples of is called Dynamax. It's just giant Godzilla-like Pokemon. Mm-hmm. Cool. There is a new zone called, I think, a Wild Zone.
I sure have no details for you, Cody. I watched it, but now
I'm blanking so hard right now. It's just a zone where you can walk around and have free control of the camera, and like Pokemon are also walking around. So it kind of incorporates that whole idea of like you can see the Pokemon you're going to go try to capture.
Does that imply that for the rest of the game you're not going to be able to see them?
No, because it's just in those zones.
Okay.
Otherwise it's random encounters. They showed off a couple of new Pokemon. I think the new Pokemon's art looks great. Big thing for me, there's raids in this game where you can group up with friends online or in local play, and you fight like giant Dynamax Pokemon. And only one of you can use Dynamax to make your Pokemon stronger, so you kind of got to coordinate. Seems really cool. It's another thing from like Pokemon Go that they're bringing into this modern Pokemon gen. And then last but not least, the new legendaries look really cool. They got the it's like a bear with a shield on his face and like a wolf with 2 swords. And
was it 2 swords?
I think it had a sword like hanging over here, but then it had a sword in its mouth.
Yeah, I just noticed the one in its mouth. It's a big sword. It's
a big ass fucking sword.
Yeah.
Looks really cool. I'm excited. It's fucking Pokemon. Like, let's go. Like, Jesus. I'm so hyped for this, Sam. It's gonna be really cool.
I'm happy for you.
All right. I guess I went through that really quickly. So let's talk about. So
wait, I don't get to talk about Pokemon.
Oh, sorry. What did you guys say? Go for it.
It looked real cool because there's somebody was fishing, and I was like, "There's fishing in Pokemon."
Did you see the motherfucker on a water bike though? Like he was like on a little water bike going through, and like water Pokemon were swimming up to him. I was like, "This is so cool."
Yeah, I'm still not gonna get it, but it was cute.
Yeah. Okay. So Activision officially announced Call of Duty Modern Warfare is coming. They are reusing the title Modern Warfare. It seems like they are this is like a best hits because they're bringing back a old favorite character, Captain Price. I don't know how this works because he died.
Alternate realities, things happen.
Alternate realities, I guess, yeah. And this Call of Duty seems to have it's going to have a campaign, unlike the last one. Mm-hmm. There seems to be a heavy focus on the campaign. It's apparently going to be, I think the words they used is edgy. And they're going to talk about like some current stuff happening in the world. It seems pretty interesting. I do like the Call of Duty campaigns. I did like the Modern Warfare campaigns a lot. I thought that was really well handled. So I am excited to see this. It seems really cool. Like I am generally excited for a Call of Duty game. I probably will not get this at launch. Will probably pick this up around Christmas time just to have a campaign to play through.
It'll be on sale for Black Friday.
Yeah. So Sam, what are your thoughts on it? Because I'm trying to figure out
what my face was about.
Yeah.
So I watched it and the trailer looked amazing. Like the graphic quality, I don't know if that's in-game footage or what, but it looked amazing. I just, it seems like a little too real. Like stuff that's happening now and like reflecting that very closely in a video game seems like it might make me a little uncomfortable and not enjoy it as much. So that's like my biggest hesitation with that. But yeah. So, and it's like the trailer's talking about how like there's a real thin line between right and wrong, and we're sent in to determine what that is, and like we get our hands dirty so you don't have to. And it's just like, ugh, that sounds...
Yeah. So I guess one of the like kind of press things they showed was like there is a part of the game where you play as a child, and like you end up having to kill a Russian soldier who is trying to kill your family. And so like, yeah, I do agree with you that this does seem like it's going to be a game that makes you uncomfortable and have to think about things. But I tend to stray on the side of the fact that if sometimes art is going to make you uncomfortable, and you either and that can either be good or bad. I hope it's more on the side of good here. Like it's going to make us uncomfortable, but it's going to shine a light on things like that are going on over there. Like I'm hoping they're doing like really good research and stuff. And so yeah, I think it's going to be a Call of Duty game. I think they know their limits. After the debacle of Modern Warfare 2, where there was legitimately a scene where you just got into an elevator, all loaded up LMGs, and mowed down innocent people in an airport, I think Call of Duty know their limits at this point.
Okay.
I don't know if you knew that was a thing that happened.
Didn't know that was a thing. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't played a lot of Call of Duty. So.
Very big controversy back in the day. I think it almost got Call of Duty. I think it got Call of Duty banned in a couple countries, actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, Call of Duty. I think they know their limits.
Well, hopefully. But then one positive that this game has going for it, I saw on Twitter. I don't know how to pronounce her name, so I apologize. But Sarah Shatchner, maybe. She was the composer for Anthem, and I fucking love that soundtrack. So she announced this. Yeah, exactly. She is doing the soundtrack for this game. So I think it's going to sound amazing, and that makes me more likely to pick it up probably when it's on sale. Like I might pick it up too. Also, I mean, I had fun with Black Ops 4. I didn't think I would, so who knows?
Also,
but yeah.
crossplay.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big thing for a major game title to have.
It's done the right way where if you're on a controller, you'll get queued with other controllers. If you're on keyboard and mouse, you'll get queued with other keyboard and mouse. Yeah. If you're in a party where one of you is controller and one has keyboard and mouse, you'll get mixed in. So yeah.
Pretty exciting stuff. So yeah, a lot of big news before E3, and then we suck at E3. So yeah. Any final thoughts, Sam?
Yeah, I was just going to say, you thought this was going to be like too light of an episode, and so you'd ask for some questions, and so we got some nice questions, but we're going to save those until we actually have a light episode, because turns out we had a lot to talk about tonight. But thank you for your questions.
Yes, thank you for your questions. So yeah, next week we're going to be covering everything that happened at E3. We're really excited for it. A lot of cool stuff sure has been going down. You can let us know your thoughts about everything that went down at E3 by reaching out to us at contact@geekcardgames.com. You can find us on Twitter and Facebook at geekcardgames. You can find our YouTube videos, which I have a new one that just went up the other day, at geekcardgames.com/YouTube. You can find our merch at geekcardgames.com/shirts, where we have a new Geek Heart Pride shirt. We definitely appreciate if you buy one of those and show your pride. You can find our Twitch streams at twitch.tv/geekcardgames.
I was just going to say, so when you wanted that red shirt and I had to go through and redo the shirts, and then since I've been adding them, when I first started that store, like, I don't think it let me change prices. It was just like, it was what it was, but now it lets me change prices, so they're pretty cheap. Okay, there's like it's like $16 for a shirt, so, and with shipping it's under $20, I think. Most of them, some of them are more, and I'm sorry if you're in Europe, I think some of them are more, but yeah, it let me lower the price a lot, so you can get a good deal on those shirts now.
All right. You can find our Twitch streams at twitch.tv/geekcardgames. You can join our Discord at geekcardgames.com/Discord. I think that's everything.
If you want to give us one of those 5-star reviews, we would appreciate that. We love it. And a like and a subscribe on YouTube. Makes our day.
You can find me on Twitter at comicbookcody. Sam, where can they find you?
I'm on Twitter at SKSUVAK.
All right. As always, guys and gals, thank you guys so much for listening. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you next week for E3. Sam, take it away.
We're just two geeks who heart games. Do. Yeah.
Nice. Sam, so I cleaned my PS4.
Yeah.
First off, Sony can go fuck themselves. Because this little bit, this Tor 9 security bit you need to undo the screws on the back of the PS4, horrendous.
I don't. Good God, do you hear that train? It's so loud.
That's a really loud train thing.
They don't usually do that when we're recording. I don't know what that's about. All right, I guess it's gonna be going for a minute there.
Yeah.
I don't remember needing a special tool to open my PS4.
Did you undid everything and did the fan? Or did you just do the hard drive?
I didn't take the metal off the fan. I just popped off the black plastic top.
Yeah.
And then there was
what did you have to use to unscrew it? Because like the thing on my screws are like some special little screw thing.
When I did the cleaning part, I didn't unscrew anything. You just pry open the top. There wasn't anything to unscrew. I watched 2 videos on how to do this.
What PS4 do you have?
The Slim.
I think I also had the Slim, and I had screws.
I did have to do some screws when I changed out my hard drive, but again, I don't recall it being something special.
Everything I googled said like, oh, you're gonna need this bit because you got to remove these screws, and then you pry off the black piece, and that's how you clean the fan. If you did not have to do this, I'm very pissed off because I went and spent $15 on a set of these fucking things just so I could get my fucking PlayStation cleaned.
Let me tell you, Cody, it's entirely possible that I did have to unscrew things. I just don't remember.
Okay.
It's possible. I feel
like I remember you telling me something.
I remember it because it was so nerve-wracking prying the top off that's really the only part I remember.
Yes, it is.
Like, oh my God, I'm going to break it. Yeah,
also, I was very afraid that like I was just going to snap something. I was like, oh my God.
Also, I have a ton of tools, Cody, because like my dad was always getting us like tool sets for Christmas. So like I have lots of stuff.
My dad has a woodworking shop on our fucking field of land. Like, my dad is like the tool expert, and I was like, "Hey, do you have a Tor 9 security bit? Because that's what it's saying I need." And he was like, "What the fuck is that?" And
I feel like I would remember this. I think maybe we have different models or something.
Maybe.
Because
I don't know.
I don't remember having to get some special tool. That seems weird.
Yeah, and like, I don't know. It was very also. So after I got like the thing to undo the screws, removing that black piece was very scary. And then like, there was so much dust because like I've had this PS4 for like 5 years, and I've never cleaned it. Like I've had it since 2014, and I've never cleaned it. And like there was so much dust. And like I feel like for the most part it has helped, like it because like it was sounding rough. Yeah. Like it sounded like at any point I could strap that bad boy to my back and probably fly a little bit. Like that's how bad it was sounding. And I feel like it has improved. It's still doing the jet engine sound. But yeah, it's like.
See, I opened mine up and it wasn't that dirty. I was like, but I wasn't cleaning mine because of the sound. I was just cleaning it because it was kind of slow, and I thought maybe that would help. Didn't help. Because obviously that wasn't the problem. So
yeah, I think hopefully the PS5 is like a lot quieter. It's just like it's just stealthy. It's like, oh fuck, I forgot that was there. Because like I walk into my room sometimes and I hear the PS4 going off and I'm like, oh Jesus Christ.
Well, I feel that the PS5 is going to have the solid state drive, and then it's not going to have the moving parts, so it won't get as hot, so it won't need the fan as much as this one does, possibly.
That was the other thing that freaked me out. I was like cleaning the dust off everything, and like over the hard drive, there's like a little string, and I was like, I don't know what the fuck this string is, but I'm very afraid of it.
I feel like that's like I don't know. I don't remember this part. I didn't get that into it. But that could be like the needle that like writes to the hard drive.
Oh shit!
So, like you really shouldn't touch that if that's what it is.
Oh, I didn't. I was like, what is that? I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm not touching it. So I just cleaned around it. I was like, yeah. So
okay.
But seriously, fuck Sony, and I had to go pay $15 for a set of fucking these things, and I was like, hey Dad, happy birthday! Like, I'm never gonna need these again, probably.
I hope that you actually really did need to take those screws off to do it, and you didn't just like.
I hope so too. I'm now
off without
kind of angry because I already like voided the warranty by removing the stickers. So I was like, whatever.
There were stickers?
Yeah, there were stickers over some of the screws.
I don't remember this. I really don't think I did this. I think we have different PS4s.
I think so, maybe. Seriously, fuck Sony. God, that was so like stressful. It was so stressful and awful because I tried to clean it like 3 days in a row. Because at first I was like, oh, like I'm just gonna need like a screwdriver. Unplugged everything, put it on my bed, went and got a screwdriver, came back and was like, oh no. Then I was like, oh hey Dad, you have this? He's like, oh, I'll bring some home from work. He brings me a little set of these things. It only goes to T9. Or T10. I need a T9. I was like, God damn it. And so I think I got a set from, I don't know if like everyone in the world has AutoZones, but it's just like a car place. And a T8 worked. And I was like, whatever. I don't care at this point. I just want to get this damn thing cleaned and stop sounding like a jet engine. But yeah, it was an experience.
Yes. Yeah, I feel like it is. It's a rite of passage the first time you open up your console.
I am really glad I went with the external hard drive because I feel like I would fuck something up if I tried to replace that actual hard drive. It
was scary, but it went fine when I replaced my hard drive. The pain is you have to reinstall the operating system and then all of your shit again. But, I mean, it was worth it to get the bigger hard drive. Sure.
I do think I'm finally going, because of what we'll talk about in this podcast, I think I'm going to finally like make the jump and download that free. When Destiny 2 was the free PS Plus game, I'm tired of swapping discs. So I think I'm finally going to make that jump to the digital. So one of these weekends, I'll just leave it on overnight.
Yeah. It's a good plan.